Throughout the Bible, warnings are given about pride. In Romans 12 and verse 3, Paul says we are not to think too highly of ourselves. Instead, we are to learn to be humble. Referring to the words of the psalmist, James wrote in James 4 and verse 6, God is opposed to the proud, but giveth grace to the humble. Yet in combating pride, we can easily fall into the trap of self-depreciation. And this is not real humility. Instead, this means that we are overly critical of ourselves and see ourselves as being an unimportant part of the church. However, when Paul wrote to the church at Corinth, he made it clear that every individual member was an important part of the body. In 1 Corinthians 12, beginning in verse 14, Paul wrote, For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot says, Because I am not a hand, I am not a part of the body, it is not for this reason any the less a part of the body. And if the ear says, Because I am not an eye, I am not part of the body, it is not for this reason any the less a part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would the hearing be? If the whole were hearing, where would the sense of smell be? But now God has placed the members, each one of them, in the body just as He desired. If they were all one member, where would the body be? But now there are many members, but one body. Paul explained that we are all individually members of Christ's body. Even though we are all different, we can each make valuable contributions to the function of the church. As ridiculous as it would be to say that our foot or our ear are unimportant, it is just as absurd to think that our efforts are unimportant and or unneeded in the cause of Christ. We have a place in the Lord's body as He desired. Therefore, let us recognize how valuable and useful each one of us are to the Lord's work. Let us each determine to use our abilities, our resources, and our opportunities in the Lord's service. Let us resolve to be an encouragement to our brethren, even from the sidelines, and to strive to remove all potential sources of discouragement. Let us faithfully endure whatever hardships might come, whether they come as the result of life's unfairness, health problems, persecution, or any other reason. If we fall away from faithful service, let us return, knowing that we are not just welcome to come back, but we are needed to come back. If we do not have a well-known name or a wide circle of influence in order to do great things in the Lord's service, then we can all be just regular Christians, faithfully doing all that we can do in the name of the Lord. And the church today is made up of many regular Christians, people that are simply striving each and every day to serve the Lord, to please Him, to keep their sights on things above, and to prepare their lives for the day of judgment, for the time that lies ahead in the future of each and every one of us. That day that we all are striving to be able to stand before that judgment seat of Christ and hear those wonderful words, Well done, good and faithful servant, enter into the joys of the Lord. And while it is true, we see from the biblical record that there were many Christians in the first century that were very well known, that did many wonderful things for the cause of Christ. But even more so, there were many regular Christians who were striving each and every day to serve their part of the world. They were active in the local congregations that they were a part of. They went out into their communities and they did the work of the church through evangelism, through edification, through benevolence, by seeing to the needs of those who were around them. And as a result of the efforts of those regular Christians, the church in the first century grew tremendously. And friends, this is why today we still need these regular Christians. People who love their community, who love the souls of the people that they live around, and who are willing to go out into the world and to carry the gospel to those who are lost, who are willing to work at building up the local church, those who are willing to be just regular Christians, who are striving simply to serve the Lord, to please Him, to do His will. This is what we all should strive to be. And we thank you for joining us for our program today, and may God bless you with a wonderful day.